and welcome to episode 4.
18.
He was holding up 3 fingers, or 4 fingers altogether, but he was making a 13 to me. I realized it about halfway of saying 4 that he was. But this is episode 18 of the Uncircumcised Podcast. I'm Ben. This is Martin and Sigurd. And today, we will be talking about...
Chinese air balloons.
What?
spy balloons.
Okay.
And?
Dahmer versus Gacy.
So, why don't you go back to your hosting duties? I did your little intro for you. I screwed up the number. I told you I was going to trip over something.
Episode 13.
18.
Whatever. No one pays attention to this.
But no, yeah, that freaking spy balloon that, did you hear anything about that?
No.
Not at all. Like, seriously.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
All right.
Essentially, for like the last 3 or 4 days, there has been this Chinese, they're calling it a spy balloon, China's calling it a weather balloon, that has drifted into U.S. airspace.
Oh, yeah?
And has gone basically down a route from like, they noticed it in Montana. That's when it first got like blew out of proportion. And it floated through, like it came by here, it's gone all the way to Myrtle Beach, to the Atlantic Ocean, and they shot it down.
Yeah,
as of yesterday.
Yeah, so they had to wait until it actually was overseas, so that they could...
Because they said it was the size of like 3 buses put together, so if they shot it down over, land, it could potentially hurt someone.
Yeah.
But also they said that there was a payload in it. Exactly. And when they shot it down into waters where they could not retrieve it.
Oh, they couldn't get it?
Yeah.
See, what they should have done it Batman style. You remember...
They had 12 miles of water they could shoot it down in. And it was outside of that 12 miles?
Especially, like, my thing of it is Montana's a lot of mountains, and I think people are pretty spread out in Montana. I think I would have shot it down there, but...
Well, I mean...
They sent fighters to it while it was in Montana, and they were told to stand down just to not do anything with it yet.
That's the reason why I said they should have done a Batman style, where they just swoop in, You remember that in the first movie?
So who was able to get it?
I don't know if it's still floating to sea or we're actually trying to retrieve it at this point.
It probably went down somewhere and literally just
sunk.
They're not going to fucking die for it.
Yeah, I don't know. That's all the reports that have come out so far.
Well, they got it.
So
they got it. They're just not saying nothing.
Well, here's the thing. So they waited all this time for it to be shut down.
Yeah.
There's communication between the thing and, home base. So you can't tell me they were waiting for it to float back. They weren't waiting for it to float back.
Who's waiting for it? It wasn't floating towards there anyway.
I know what I'm saying.
Unless it wanted to make, a around the world in 80 days kind of deal and go all the way back around.
But either way,
was it controlled or was it just floating?
Don't know.
Nobody knows.
Don't know.
So essentially, that got whatever it wanted.
Well, look, it got whatever it wanted.
You said it had a bus on it?
It was
like Fortnite?
Yes, it was it was the battle bus.
That's a weird... man, we should be using planes by now, right? Paratroopers?
That's... The thing of it is, it entered our airspace. We knew it was coming. There's no way we didn't see this thing slowly floating towards us. It could have been taken down way before it even made landfall here. So, there you go.
How the fuck did we not even see it coming?
That's my thing. We did.
Yeah.
It was allowed to come in.
Exactly.
And
then, now, there's tension between China and America on that one.
Well, there's been tension between China and America for a long time.
Yeah, but even more tension because now they're bitching that it got shut down. It's what happens if we fucking send something over there? They're going to shoot it down, right?
Yeah, They would have shot it down over one of their cities. They would have harmed people to get this thing out of the air.
Exactly. So why the fuck would they now get upset? It's you shut up, balloon down.
And it was just a weather balloon. I think you would have got all the data you needed. Plus, why do you care what the weather patterns are over here?
Well, they're going to make sure, whatever comes over there later on, maybe, I guess.
Couldn't they have just flown like a helicarrier underneath it and shot it down and caught it in midair?
That's what I said. I felt like there
many things that they could have done.
I felt like
is that not like a real thing you can do?
I felt like it could have been intercepted somehow, other than
kind of stuff.
Yeah, instead of just shooting it out of the sky and watching it plummet to the earth. I feel
have a bunch of helicopters up there with a cartoonishly large net. Do whatever you can.
Yeah, or somehow attach cables to it to hold it up while you bring it to the ground. I don't know.
Yeah.
You would think.
Well,
But no, they shot it down with a missile.
well, whatever was inside of it.
I mean, if you're hitting a balloon, whatever's, attached to it, you're not shooting that, man.
Yeah, but...
You didn't need a missile, is what he's saying.
Yeah, you didn't need
You
a
could have
missile.
shot it. They have guns, like turrets on there. They could have used literally probably anything less than that.
They literally
If it's a balloon that's that strong, that's up there for that long, able to withstand whatever...
I feel like a gun turret, a couple rounds through it would
I don't
take
know. Maybe not. Maybe
Either way, they could...
Maybe it's way cooler to shoot it with a rocket.
I mean, it is. We're America. We like to do things on a grand scale.
And I heard it was the first F-22 confirmed shot on something. Ended up being this balloon.
Might be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was the first confirmed shot. Missile hit. For,
And it was on a goddamn balloon.
yeah.
No, 99 red balloons just entered my mind whenever the first time I saw it. I was like, oh, it's the Russians again. No, it was China.
Why would it be the Russians with 99 red balloons anyway?
Because it was during the goddamn Cold War, Martin. And what is the Cold War? The United States and Russia.
Real quick, take a look at this fella.
Yeah.
Which fella?
Ringo.
Yeah.
Put glasses on him, give him blonde hair. Shave him.
It's Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah. He plays both characters.
He does.
Did you not realize that?
I know I did as soon as I saw him. But
I didn't realize it was him.
Well, let's slide right into Dahmer.
No, we didn't keep talking about this balloon. I just had to... I'm glad you noticed it. I had no idea.
No, I totally did. As soon as I saw him, I was like, that's the same fucking guy.
I've seen this movie several times, and I never paid any attention to that.
I didn't realize it.
He blended well.
Either way, with the air balloon, that was handled like retarded in a way that I think that they totally...
Can't say that.
What, retarded?
Yeah.
No, I thought you were talking about handled.
You can't speak out against this government ever.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to shut this podcast down with its 18 listeners.
Well, I think we said worse things than that on here.
No. Fuck the cops would be a close second.
But either way, well, I guess we can go ahead and move over to the movie.
Well, I mean, that's as far as we know.
Yeah,
that's all we know of the balloon. We don't know what kind of information it was picking up. We don't know if we were blocking said information from getting there.
Why did they let it fly around?
That's what I'm saying. Like, not only why did they let it fly around?
We had to be watching us.
Yes.
There had to be a reason.
Yeah.
They were probably running some kind of counter thing on it to figure out what it was doing.
I don't know. If there's anything I've learned in the last several years, it's we give them way too much credit for thinking they can achieve things and seeing who runs these shows. But hopefully the military people are smarter than the people that they have in the offices.
Problem is the military takes orders from the people in the offices, and
so,
they're gonna listen to them, and that's the bad part about it.
So I don't know.
That apparently it actually went over a few military bases and stuff like that it got potentially
perfect time. Shoot that son of a bitch to the ground.
Well, apparently that wasn't the perfect time. It could have hurt a couple people. So
what if it had some equipment on it that they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna send this big dumb balloon over there, so hopefully they'll shoot it down and take it to somewhere secure to study it, and we can use the infiltration like a Trojan horse.
Could be.
That's a great reason not to shoot it down.
But, like I said, we had to have seen this before it ever got to us. So why couldn't we have shot it down way before? Yeah. And then
it's all horse and pony show, buddy.
Either way, it's down there. And we probably are going to find out what the fuck it was.
What I want to know that the government's working on myself is the X-13 project. Apparently, they have been cloning the DNA of serial killers. All the most notorious ones that exist. And they've been cloning them repeatedly, and each time making them worse and worse. Until they're a bubbling cesspool of the worst situation a serial killer could be in. Probably 30 times each, clone them. And then you come out with some really purebred serial killers, and then they splice all that DNA into one super soldier. I think that's the program I want to hear more about the government doing.
You're never going to find out about it unless you see a movie about it.
Somebody should make a movie about it.
most definitely. I think, well, I guess Dahmer versus Gacy gets close to it.
Yeah, imagine two of them got out. What if Dahmer and Gacy got out of there? How would you handle that situation?
That would be a killing spree, I think.
A killing spree. Hell yeah. So that's the plot of Dahmer versus Gacy.
Oh boy.
Ironically, after spree, it is fucking right there.
Spree continues!
Oh, shit.
So, what were you guys' initial thoughts on this movie?
So,
initial thought immediately after it ended.
Immediately after it
we
ended?
can talk about the thoughts during.
After it ended, I was confused and, like, I'm unsure if I liked it or not. I think that my first thought was actually like, hey, this actually could have been much better with some better editing on the movie itself.
No. Now I'm gonna argue that point. I thought that it was an absolute crime that it did not receive an Academy Award for Best Editing.
So
That's a good initial thought to have right after it ends, too, man. I'm glad both your guys' initial thoughts right after it ended was editing.
Yeah. Well, it's
from different aspects.
Not that the movie was bad, actually. It was just, for me, it was the editing part of it. Like, I think if I would have done a little bit better editing, it could have been a whole lot better.
Look, if you didn't know what you were getting into within the first, 15 minutes, that soldier that's guarding that one door that keeps walking in 2 feet intervals back and forth, staring, that was great.
Wait. I knew what I was getting into, too, whenever Seaver recommended the movie.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that's fair. That is fair. But, yeah, that was the editing portion of that. When it first came on and it has the news broadcast, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Then that guy dies, and I'm like, well, all right, there's that. And then just how it was filmed, yeah. I was like, this is really guerrilla style filming.
Yeah, it's pretty low budget.
This couldn't be more than $75,000 to make this, and that's just paying some of the actors in this.
Well, honestly, some of the actors in it you've seen in bigger movies.
Oh yeah,
yeah. The first Doctor who, spoiler alert, ends up, I guess he gets killed. I can't remember if he gets killed by Dahmer or Gacy.
I just read a crawl at the bottom of the screen during that newscast that said Harry and the Hendersons was getting rebooted, and Vern Troyer was set to play Harry.
Hell yes. So we know around the time this was made, because Vern Troyer is dead now.
This came out in 2010.
Yes.
So the first Doctor they bring in, he's actually, I remember him as a kid he played Babe Ruth in The Sandlot.
Yes.
No shit.
Yes, he did.
That's who that guy was?
Also, he played a head coach, I think. Maybe.
He played Babe Ruth?
Yeah. In Sandlot.
You talking about this dude?
Art LaFleur, yeah, that's him.
Oh, okay.
And then he was in a Disney Channel movie that I remember seeing when I was 5 with Tony Danza in it. So you know what kind of quality we're getting here.
Yeah.
Called...
Who's the Boss?
No, this is the longest fucking title you've ever heard in your entire life. God damn it. The garbage picking, football kicking Philadelphia phenomenon.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Was he the garbage that was being kicked, or was he the kicker?
No, Tony Danza was a garbage man, right, in Philadelphia. And his lever gets stuck on his garbage truck. So in order to get it work, he kicks it. And then somebody sees him do that works for the Philadelphia Eagles. They're like, we have to get this guy on this team right now. Yeah. And they do.
So that's 2 movies you've seen where this guy handled some really super awesome folks.
There you go.
He's the guy you want in charge of your shit.
Yes.
And he dies very early.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, the government program's super top secret, and there happens to be a fire that happens, and that is how they escape. Why is everybody on their telephones?
I was just looking at what other movies he was in. He was in fucking like Santa Claus 2 and shit like that.
Oh, okay. I don't recall him being in that. But I'm telling you, the garbage picking, football kicking Philadelphia phenomenon is his greatest work besides this.
Hell yeah.
Well, and then also you have God's voice.
Oh, it's Harlan Williams?
Yes.
Holy shit, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
So that's a bigger one, actually.
It's another Disney Channel movie right there. Was Rocket Man that Harlan Williams was in. That was a good one.
And then also the second Doctor, obviously.
Erwin Keyes, he was, wasn't he in...
He's in Devil's Rejects and shit like that.
Yeah, that, like, House of a Thousand Corpses, maybe.
Yeah.
One of those.
He was in Flintstones. The Flintstones movie.
Yeah.
Okay, I could see it.
Well, what did you guys think of the guy who directed the movie, who also played Jeffrey Dahmer, and who also played...
Oh, he directed... I didn't know he directed it, too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What did you think of his performance
as
Jeffrey Dahmer?
Well, as Jeffrey Dahmer, he seems to sometimes lose himself in the fact that he's supposed to have that, like, northern Wisconsin accent. So
I think he nails the accent
He
pretty good.
nails it, but sometimes he drifts out of it, and he starts speaking normally and then comes back into it.
Yeah.
That made me laugh. I was like, okay.
When I first saw this in 2010, I didn't know Dahmer really talked like that.
Yeah, until you see, like, interviews of him and shit.
Yeah, I didn't really pay much attention to it. I was just like, this guy talks like an asshole. This is funny.
No, Dahmer, he had the accent down. It's just he was drifting out of it.
And whenever I realized today that he also played Ringo, I was like, oh, wow, dude, he's got some range. Like, I had no idea he was both of these characters.
What a character Ringo is.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic character. Probably one of the best crazy bastards sent on a mission from God to stop a group of serial killers that I've ever seen in a movie. He's got to be
for sure. I mean, I agree 100%.
Yeah.
The
Was
ninjas,
like Joan of Arc?
The ninjas in the movie were just phenomenal too. Just randomly fucking pop up.
Where did they come from? Like I missed.
I missed it too. They just showed up. Like
I just remember hearing and ninjas, and then
Yeah.
like the next scene, they're chilling out.
He goes and
ninjas.
digs up the freaking...
Did the government call the ninjas to try to stop
the
them?
Chinese
Was that
government
what-
or something like that.
Okay.
Huh. Funny.
So that they can retrieve
The Japanese
serial
government?
No, I think they said Chinese.
I don't remember, but maybe they went to retrieve that damn balloon we shot down.
Maybe.
But, yeah, he goes and he digs up this katana that's in the ground.
And then when he shows up later, he doesn't even
have it. He has a shotgun, and I was like, okay.
3 ninjas pop up after this crazy asshole finds the sword and does some mall ninja kicking.
Well, one of them does run away and then immediately disappears.
Yes.
Well, they are ninjas. They can appear and disappear out of nowhere.
That is true.
So 3 ninjas show up, and he hits the sword. He uses his sword like a baseball bat and hits one in the face. And that ninja dies, but then that ninja's back later. And that's also the same ninja that runs away.
So I have a theory on that one. This is actually a sequel to the movie Three Ninjas.
Okay. But he cut the one in half, and the legs were sitting there. That was good shit.
I will say, Martin, don't you ever... don't you disparage Hulk Hogan's acting in Three Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain. Don't you ever.
There was 4 ninjas, though.
There were.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one that
3
gets...
ninjas showed up. 4 ninjas were gone at the end.
That's true.
The one that literally gets his entire torso cut off and his legs are just left standing.
And then they get kicked in the balls.
Yes.
I liked that effect. That was a good special effect because I thought they were like solid legs.
Yeah.
So whenever he kicked them and they had like a little bit of humanity to them, I was like, oh, that looks pretty cool. Right now he's getting blown by a guy in an army vest and he's drilling a hole in his head.
Do you know who that guy is?
I don't know who that guy is.
That's the former drummer of Guns N' Roses.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Slash?
No. His name is Steven Adler.
Steven Adler?
Yes. And I'm pretty sure his character in this movie is Stevie, so they didn't really reach too far.
Dahmer just drilled him up, dude.
Well, he's getting ready to have some fun with him, too.
Yes, he is.
That scene was just... I was like, what?
Yeah, this whole movie is just absolute absurdity. I was watching an interview with the director that I found on Daily Motion. And he was talking about shit, man. This movie just being absurd. And how much he likes absurd things and absurd comedy. And if you look into absurdists and shit like that, this is peak absurdity.
Yeah.
You're not watching it for the plot. Which,
No.
on paper, when you say, hey, they've cloned Jeffrey Dahmer and John Wayne Gacy.
That's a good plot.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was done in a different way, you could make a totally different movie out of this. But I like the way this movie went. Very much so. And I love Ringo's character, who kind of just doesn't really seem to have much of a purpose.
Oh, he has no purpose in this movie.
Well, he does finish the job in the end.
Yeah, but he was sent to kill Dahmer and Gacy. He did not do either.
Yeah, well, God works in mysterious ways, brother.
Maybe, but when he shot X-13 and kills
Yeah.
X-13, the voices are still there. Which is his whole reasoning for going on this
You
quest
also
is to get
saw
the
that
voices
Dahmer
out.
and Gacy disappeared. They just like vanished like
Yes.
the ninjas did.
And was it not Gacy that cuts his
So
neck
there's going
at
to be
the
a
end?
sequel.
Wait, what?
Was it not Gacy that slices Ringo's neck at the end?
Yeah.
Okay, because
They
he had
disappeared and came back out of nowhere. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, it's all crazy.
Also, Charles Manson makes an appearance at the end.
Yeah.
He escapes.
So X-13, who is he supposed to be?
That's just a government
He's
project.
Just a regular project?
No, he was the crown jewel of the whole experiment. He was all the DNA spliced
Oh, he was
together.
all of them
He's
together?
the super
Okay.
killer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's like Bundy, Gacy, Dahmer,
All 30 of
Manson,
them. Or
whoever
whatever
else
it
they
was.
had.
He acted a little bit special, so, I didn't know.
Well, when you have all that DNA floating around,
Yeah.
what do you expect?
Was the corn when he was...
They're not sending their best. Or their brightest.
Suck my cob is my favorite line in this movie.
They're literally sending their rapists and criminals into X-13.
I like how you said grapist.
Huh?
I like how you said
Oh,
rapist.
he's going to grape somebody in the mouth. He loves to talk shit. He'll grape the fuck out of you.
He's going to tie him to the radiator, right?
Yeah.
My God.
Oh, shit. I like that you actually know this.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. That's my shit.
Ben, I think...
I know it. Yes, I know it.
He didn't know it before.
No, I did. I'd seen it before, but then you just like unlocked a memory in me when you brought it up one time. I was like, oh, fuck, I remember this.
Hell yeah, man. I watch that
The
shit a
fucking
lot.
grapist. I remember this.
Yeah. White's Kids have some fantastic skits.
Oh, yeah. But also the freaking... Go ahead.
No, keep going.
I was just gonna go ahead and talk about the scene where basically with X-13 and was it Gacy no, it was Dahmer that he was talking to.
Oh, when they were going back and forth.
We had a
Yes.
good scene with Gacy, too.
He did. He literally shoved a corn
He
cob
throated the shit out of him.
Yes. he
into
sure
his
did.
throat and
Yeah.
said, suck my cob while he did it,
Yeah.
which was fantastic
Yes.
for me.
Yeah.
But then the scene with Dahmer essentially where they would go back and forth. Where I'm gonna fuck you, and I can't even fucking remember. All
Oh, no, the
shit that
best
they said
one was
on that.
Dahmer to X-13 when he said, I'm going to fuck you so hard that a Donkey Kong arcade machine is
Yes.
going to come out of your ass with the top score. That was great. He says like that. X-13 says he's going to fuck him so hard that he's going to grow a leather beard out of his ass. Yeah. Let's see. Here we go. Gacy's dead.
Hi, fucker.
How you doing, fucker?
Pretty fucking good, fuckball.
It's been a long time, eh?
I am gonna fuck you. I will fuck you in your ass, and you'll like it, and I'll like it.
Yep.
Oh, I'm gonna fuck you so fucking hard. You know what? I'm gonna fuck you inside out.
Ow, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt bad. But I'm gonna take you and fuck you till you grow a leather beard. Right out your ass, fuckball, and then I'm gonna fuck you everywhere on top of my Vega. On top of my Chevy Vega, I'll fuck you.
I'm gonna fuck you so hard that a fucking Donkey Kong machine's gonna fall out of your asshole and it's gonna get the top score.
Don't you care, you fucky? Oh, you fuck me, make me mad. Make me mad.
It's so good.
Just wow. Wait, didn't he say he was going to fuck him so hard that there's going to be like a real estate development on his left thigh because there's so much room in his ass?
And people are going to be wanting to take up the real estate. Yeah.
It was it's a cleverly written script.
Yeah.
Also, the news part in the movie are great. Like, I love serial killers.
Yeah, a lot of the cool stuff you would want to see happening kind of happens off screen, and it's told by the news.
Yes.
But it's a pretty low-budget movie.
Where they walk into where they interview the owner of the fucking, like, I guess, like, little bistro or whatever. And he was talking about how awesome it was when he killed him and all that shit. And I'm terrible at telling those stories, though.
Are you?
But, yeah, I am. But those are probably the funniest parts to me also, too. Besides, the whole part at the end.
Well, before Steven Adler gets a drill through the head, which accurate with Dahmer, drilling people in the head and then using them as sex zombies.
Mm-hmm.
There is a scene right before that, before he meets Dahmer, where he blows a guy for some blow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how he meets Dahmer, and then they go back to this random house.
Is that also how he got into Guns N' Roses?
Probably.
Okay.
They kicked him out because he was a very heavy drug user, and I'm like, so are the rest of you, but whatever.
It's probably how he stayed in for as long as he did.
Exactly, yeah.
There you go.
Interesting little fact, they have a song called Rocket Queen that has a girl, orgasming in it. Mm-hmm. And, basically Axl Rose fucked his girlfriend with microphones around. Fucked Steven Adler's girlfriend, let me clarify that.
Oh, yeah.
Without Steven Adler knowing. So imagine having to, not only is the guy you're technically friends with, who's the lead singer of the band you're in,
that's shitty,
fucked your girlfriend, you two probably split, and now every night you have to go around to city and play that fucking song.
Put it on the track.
Oh, yep.
And then he got drilled by Dahmer.
Exactly.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I went through a rabbit hole whenever I started looking up people in this movie. Yeah, his was the most interesting to me. I was like, man, that sucks.
Yeah, that is crazy. In the interview I saw with the director, he said that while they were showing this at film festivals and stuff, they went to about 80 of them so far. They were at a SoCal Film Festival, and that they were in the process of getting funding and writing the script for Dahmer vs. Gacy 2 in space.
Oh!
He said that in that movie, the U.S. government had run out of options on what to do with these serial killers because they'd escaped again, so they shot them into space. And while they were in space, there's a U.S. space station that has 7 people on it. And their oxygen runs out, so they have to dock with the serial killer one to get their oxygen. And then these 7 people have to fight all these serial killers that are in space on this other space station.
I'm so upset we were robbed of that. Yeah. I would have loved that. Yeah. That would fantastic. Oh, man.
That would have been so wild.
Damn it.
Yeah. What about the, pardon my French, the schnoz on this?
This lady has quite the nose.
Yeah.
And the way she fucking, chews on the damn cigar.
Yeah. She, I believe I saw her last in Ace Ventura, playing Snowflake.
That was her? Yeah. Oh, shit. Yeah. I know the other guy, the first Doctor, he was in the Ace Ventura, the Kid movie or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Can we go back to something? Because Martin, that went directly over your fucking head. How long has it been since you've seen Ace Ventura?
A long time.
Okay, you know Snowflake was the fucking dolphin, right?
Okay. Oh, shit. Yeah, it's been a while.
Oh, that was a good joke for starters. And you just added layer onto it when you're like, oh,
but no,
really?
The other guy was actually in the Ace Ventura Kid or whatever.
What are you talking about?
Ace Ventura Jr.?
Whatever. I don't know.
There was an Ace Ventura Jr. movie. I didn't know that.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
Well, the bat?
It was not good.
Okay.
It was not.
But as you know, we can see that he doesn't really turn down roles.
Who?
The guy that played the scientist that was in this Ace Ventura Jr. movie. Well, he obviously doesn't turn many acting roles.
That could have been like a favor also,
the guy
too.
that played X-13.
He seemed familiar.
He was on Star Trek, apparently, for a long time.
Wow.
Yeah, one of those the Voyager show.
And what the fuck is up with the corn, by the way? What? The corn on the car? He just fucking...
Well, serial killers have their thing, man. I guess you mix a bunch of them together and you're gonna get some weird shit. And this guy's just totally into corn. He's a maniac. But he's the maniac. He knows how to kill.
Okay, so you see that chick right there on the right. Do you know who she is?
No.
Martin's definitely not going to know that. Sleepaway Camp.
Oh, okay.
She's the little girl that ends up being a dude. Yep.
Oh, okay. Far out, man. I hadn't seen her in a really long time. That's hilarious.
That's the second time I've seen her in a movie.
Both are bangers of movies. But I love how happy all the people are that they encounter about serial killers.
Oh, yeah.
Well, she's like, I heard that guy cut this guy's head off, and then he jumped over the counter, jumped another guy's head off, and oh my god, it was so cool.
But I got my
and then I got my groceries free.
Yeah.
And she's like, in this economy?
Yeah.
And it's always in this economy, in this economy.
Now, I want to say she got her groceries free, but why the fuck does she have sunflowers in there?
Because, man, she's at like
Is she
a Whole
eating
Foods.
sunflower?
That's the kind of bullshit people buy. Those fucking. I mean, I think it's perfect. The crawl at the bottom says now, the Pope will become a Jehovah's Witness. The Pope says, I'm looking forward to waking people up.
Yeah. Did you notice that
No, this bowling shot, dude. And then it cuts away. She totally biffed it.
Oh, yeah, she gutterballed the shit out of it.
She totally biffed it, but they cut it at the perfect time.
The little person that Gacy kills first, the little mime,
yeah,
he was a munchkin in The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, I watched an interview between that guy and the guy that played Gacy, also at one of these festivals online. It's just weird to see anything about this movie.
Like, I never heard about this movie until you mentioned it.
I'd never heard it either.
Yeah.
How the fuck did you find that? I mean, that's not one of those movies that's just randomly go, hey, we're
It was on a DVD
Blockbuster.
shelf at the video store back in the day. You used to go to the video store all the time. I found this one at the video store and rented it, and it was fantastic.
Was it Blockbuster?
I don't know, man. Whatever fucking video store was over there. I don't think it was Blockbuster, but
I miss Movie World.
it might have been that one.
I would say Movie Gallery. I like Movie Gallery.
Fuck that place and Family Video all together.
Well, God bless them for at least still being around.
They tried. Well, they're not, but they tried. They lasted longer than anyone would have thought.
Yeah, is there any stores still around here? Or anything like that?
No, not that I know of.
Blockbuster's apparently about to do their first commercial in forever.
I thought they only had like maybe
one store.
location.
They have one store left.
Well, the brand is still a thing.
Yeah. Maybe they
could totally try to make a comeback if somebody invests and put money into it.
Yeah, they might actually play off like the whole Netflix thing the way they used to do.
We should sell them on Dahmer versus Gacy too, man. I'll call Ford Austin. He'll be totally up for it. I've looked at it. He still does stuff. It's just stuff, that I have not seen.
That any of us seen.
But I absolutely love this movie. And this was a passion project of his, apparently, because he wrote and directed and starred in it in 2 roles.
I would imagine that.
And I really like it. And I love the sound of Dahmer versus Gacy 2 in space.
Yeah, it has a... I don't know. The sound of it has, to me, like a Jason X kind of vibe.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
Well, this is a absurd take on a Freddy versus Jason type situation.
True.
Yeah, that's what this is.
I didn't think of that.
Because that was about a decade after Freddy versus Jason, right? Yeah.
No.
Freddy versus Jason was like
2003.
That's almost a decade.
So it's 7 years.
2010.
But yeah. But they're like it's just like a send up of that kind of movie, and King Kong and Godzilla, just
Yeah.
You throw them all together.
Yeah, so why not? If you're going to go that absurd with this one, where could you go for a sequel? Fucking space, just like the rest of them.
Sure.
We're just going to speed run it into the sequel. And it sounded incredible.
I mean, it took Jason 9 sequels to get to space. It's only going to take them 1.
Yeah.
You think we're going to get another sequel to Friday the 13th?
Sean Cunningham is apparently trying to work on one right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's trying to... The last I heard is he was trying to work on a reboot, which doesn't make a lot of sense because...
They've already rebooted.
Yeah. Well, the TV show is doing a reboot.
Yeah.
And he doesn't own the rights to the reboot because that was what the whole thing was about. So he's wanting to try to work in something where he can still reboot it and tell the same story, but without telling that story. I don't fucking know what's going on.
Jesus.
So
I think he's just trying
It's
to
just a big cord
throw
battle.
more wrenches in the gears.
I'm assuming it's from the guy who originally wrote...
Victor Miller's making the TV show for Peacock.
And he's the one who owns the rights currently.
Yeah.
Do you know anything when that's going to come out?
He owns the rights to everything from Friday the 13th movie, the first one.
Yeah.
Everything from the sequel on, Jason and the hockey mask, all
That's
of that
all
shit.
that, yeah.
He owns none of that.
Yeah.
Do we know when the show's coming out?
I don't know.
I haven't seen a release date.
I haven't seen
I'm
anything
waiting on
regarding
it.
it,
And hoping
really.
I'm going in with hopes that it's not going to be awful.
I'm so surprised that Ringo was also played by Jeffrey Dahmer. I don't know how I never noticed that.
Yeah, it's kind of
Such
noticeable.
a stark contrast in the acting. I didn't think it's noticeable at all.
Yeah,
I could just tell if you slapped a beard on him, it's him.
I had no idea. I think he did a great job.
Well, he did a great job at acting as a completely different character, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I think the hair color and the beard really, and the
throws it
glasses,
off,
it's the Clark Kent vibe, dude.
Yep.
Man, what if there's some kind of like deep secret and he's also one of those serial killers and he just didn't know it and he's a psycho?
I mean,
these ninjas aren't real and he's just going around murdering more people.
I mean, he did hear a voice in his head, and he did ask him if he really got him that.
and he heard it through his radio too in his truck.
Yeah.
And it sounds a lot like the guy from Half Baked, right?
Which fucked me up. How could I not have noticed that's him?
Yeah. Yeah, you noticed this guy's fucking Jeffrey Dahmer. You saw through Clark Kent's disguise, but you didn't hear the voice of the gods. Oh, well, geez, there, you little fucking dingleberry. Even the kind of dumb bullshit he was saying, it's totally Harlan Williams. He did a great job being a voice. I wanted him to show up.
That right there also made no sense to me, where the doctor...
When you were saying the kid, I thought you guys were saying that was the kid that was from the Sandlot until you said Art LaFleur.
Yeah, him.
I was like, what the hell? You guys, that doctor was in the Sandlot?
No.
No, but the scene like where he goes grocery shopping after his family gets killed.
Look,
and
I'm
shit.
sorry, but him being tied up by Dahmer, and as Dahmer and Gacy first meet, and they're having their little, their pissing contest of who's better, or who's serial killing, whatever, and he is rifling through that pocket knife.
Yeah.
And it's quite obvious, it's just like, oh, it's a corkscrew. Oh, that's a bottle opener. Like, I was losing it. The fucking, he pulls the tweezers out of the other compartment up and is like, he squeezes them together and he just tosses them. And I'm like, oh my god.
It's Looney Tunes.
But honestly, I would say worth a watch. It's not one of those movies where I would tell you don't watch it.
If you're looking to kill an hour, if you got an hour and a half, watch it. Like, I came in and like halfway through, I'm like, there's no way this is any better than the Greasy Strangler. But then I'm like, it's likable on its own. I like that.
It's more quality than it's not. You can tell that they really put a lot of passion behind it, and I think they did a good job. Could it have been better?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
Enough money behind it.
If you throw money at it, yes.
I don't think it could have been better, though, than what we got. If anybody else had done it. No, I think this is the perfect movie of what it is. And you don't get many of these often.
Could you actually imagine, like, somebody goes, okay, I want to pitch this AAA movie, and, like, this movie gets pitched?
I don't see how this concept hasn't been tried in some kind of other movie. Because that's a good idea.
Well, I would imagine...
serial killer DNA to make an ultimate killer.
I would imagine that maybe it already has been made otherwise, too. I don't know.
I've never seen anything like
and I'm
this
just saying
for once.
And I'm sure most ideas, when you watch them, like, movie-wise, a lot of them have been made before already, and, like...
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, you can run out of ideas at some point.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Maybe there's another movie like this. I don't know. But
I've never
it's
seen
the only one that I've seen like this so far.
I mean, it's
fucking
a good
katana
idea.
right
Yeah. And so if God's not real talking to him in his head, where the fuck that katana come from?
That's a good question.
I mean, This guy really is on a mission from God, man.
But is it all in his head? Because like we've talked about
Maybe he actually put it there himself.
Well, here's the thing. Maybe it's all in his head because when he does end up showing up at the house, he does not have that katana anywhere near him.
Maybe he traded it for the shotgun.
Maybe.
We don't know what God told him to do.
It's part of the deleted scenes.
Oh, okay.
They just didn't...
I love the montage of him swinging this around before the ninjas show up.
Knowing that he's also Dahmer is just so much... added another level to me. I was looking at some of the reviews on this, and I was laughing real hard at it. Did you guys check out its Rotten Tomatoes page?
No.
The Rotten Tomatoes reviews were pretty... You love it or you hate it. I'm going to read a few of them here.
All right.
Where the fuck did they go? Here we go.
All right.
That was going to take him a second. Shit.
That was pretty awful, but was just bad enough to be somewhat amusing at times. I can see that as a valid opinion. Don't expect any scares. Expect a few laughs. 2 stars. This guy said 3.5 stars. Said it sounded terrible, but it's sort of funny. I'm not one to watch many gory movies. There's just blood in this movie. Not particularly fond of serial killer movies, but this was different. So if you like serial killer movies, watch Dahmer vs. Gacy. 5-star review over here. I'm sorry, but this was just fantastic. I don't know how it's possible for anyone to watch this movie and not be completely and totally amazed. There is too much awesome here not to appreciate. First off, the premise is genius. The U.S. military wants to create the ultimate killing machine, so they clone the world's most notorious serial killers, making them more and more deadly with every cloning. Of course, they try to escape and go on a bloody rampage across the country, but that's only the half of it. It also comes complete with ninjas, Harlan Williams as the voice of God, Steven Adler blowing guys for crack, mimes, and a plethora of other fantastic devices. The scene construction and dialogue is also an enormous selling point. Almost surreal in some instances. It's kind of hard for me to explain it, so you should just see it for yourself. Truly a one-of-a-kind film made with a very specific audience in mind. Fortunately for me, I am in that demographic. If you even think you might like this, chances are you will. That was a great review there.
Yeah.
Was that your review?
That was not, but I like him already. Down to a 1.5 star.
Ooh.
A no-budget horror comedy that's neither scary nor funny. Probably sets some sort of record for the most repetitions of the word asshole in 5 minutes. That's probably the flick's strongest point. Goes for farce and fails. A brain-dead heap of awful that realizes how bad it is and insists on reminding us that it's trying to be worse than Plan 9 from outer space. So in many words, congratulations, it succeeds. This one deserves the chair. Damn.
Wow.
This movie sucks. Yeah. What? Not even a star. This is a half star. This movie sucks. Usually when a campy horror flick lacks any plot, acting, or camera work, it compensates with awesome, abundant gore. This movie instead has been boring, unfunny news pieces describing all the fun stuff the filmmakers were too stupid to get on camera. Pair that with the douchebaggy frat guy jokes and you got this lame piece of shit. God.
Annihilated on that one.
Yeah.
By the way, the use of the word asshole, I feel like when that general lady says fuck 1,000,000 times and that one like subordinate guy's like crying and shit, like I feel like that was on there.
The top comment here left May 11th, 2022 from Ford A.
Hey.
Says, gotta love this movie. Ford Austin is a genius.
I wonder who Ford A is.
I don't see a name who left the super Like,
The long one.
yeah, it's blank. There's no name. I think it popped up again down here. Oh, no. They deleted their name or whatever it was, but...
They didn't want to be associated with their comment.
Yeah, love that Fort Austin was in on it. Which review would you guys side more with? A half a star or a 5 star or
Honestly,
like realistically?
Realistically, okay. So, on a rating up to 5, I would give it a 2.5.
Yeah, that's decent. Yeah.
I give it a 2.5. It's not a movie to me that like where I'm like going like, oh, you have to watch this. But it's also not one of those movies where I'm like, don't fucking watch this.
Now, do you see why I was like, this would be a lot better if we all watched it together? Because just watching it by yourself, you're just gonna...
Yeah, watching it by yourself
But
is
if we
like...
were watching it together, goofing and laughing while this was going on, it's a party movie.
So once my twins settle down and all that stuff, I'm planning on like for us to on Sundays maybe like fucking drill out or whatever, watch a movie, and then actually do the show. I think that'd be better.
Oh yeah.
I don't trust you when you say you want to grill out.
I don't eat bratwurst, Martin.
Why not?
I don't know. I don't usually eat them.
Maybe you would like them and I fix them.
I don't like sauerkraut.
I don't either.
What kind of German are you? Isn't that your chief export other than fucking
Cars?
Racism,
cars?
hate.
Damn.
man.
That's you think of the wrong country there, my friend.
Oh, I'm thinking of Austria. I am.
No, America.
Yeah, no, that's
Thinking of us.
we don't export it. We just we import that bitch.
Flying in all the time.
But no, like when it comes to food and stuff like that, yes, I'm horrible German because I do not like a lot of stuff in general. So I'm a very picky eater.
No, it's fine, man. You like what you like. I'm just being an asshole.
Busting
I
your
know.
balls, bud.
I know.
I'm gonna get in your fucking ass.
But no, I do think that we should do that maybe.
Stone Cold Steve Dahmer.
Oh. No, I'd give it probably about a 2.5. It's
yeah.
It's the same thing with Seaver said. I did feel it when I was sitting there by myself on my couch watching. I was like,
Well, I fell asleep.
what the fuck am I doing?
During the movie, I watched half of it and fell asleep. And then I finished it the following morning just to...
That's kind of how I did it. I got about halfway, a little more, maybe about an hour in, and then I started feeling like I was about to fall asleep, so I turned it off. And
I didn't even turn it off. I just fell asleep. And
The next time I recommend us watch a weird ass movie, we should actually watch it together.
Yeah.
Because it really helps.
Yeah, that's definitely doable. Of course, Jay watched it. I think he wasn't into the movie, as far as I know.
Oh, I can totally see that. If he was watching it with us, he could at least enjoy the atmosphere of the
like
movie.
the
That's
joking
what I was saying.
around it. Yeah.
Be like,
That
what in the
gives
hell
it
is
a different
this?
vibe
Yeah.
to it. Yeah, but no, overall the movie itself, like I said, I wouldn't tell people like don't watch it. Like
I would definitely watch it with friends if you're into zany, wacky, goofy shit.
yeah, putting something random on, and just be like, hey, have you ever seen this shit?
Yeah. You ever seen Dahmer fight Gacy, man?
Oh, the scene where
it's fantastic. I don't.
Yeah, the whole...
I like how Gacy just like sneaks on the wall and then,
he's
like,
pretty much a mime up until he comes into this room.
Yeah, he doesn't say a word until this scene, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. But he does a great job as Gacy, too. Whenever he first comes out and thumbs that bum's eyes out and puts him in that dumpster, man, that was such a wild scene. But the effects on the body after it was all weirdly shot. Whenever he was laying there with his eyes gouged out, looked pretty good.
Now, I will say on that scene where Dahmer first drilled into the head and then fucks the guy, It was funny because each time it would like change scenes how he was screwing him.
Yeah.
And each time, like, obviously the guy that was screwed, like, his expression every time just
His
changed.
eyes
obviously.
kept opening up.
Yeah,
like,
differently. Where I'm like,
but the thing of it is, I think it was because they were using it as like he wasn't actually dead yet.
Yeah,
He was just zombified at the moment.
true.
But I did like, I think at one point he was, when the thrusts were happening, some more blood came out. And I was like, that's fucking good. I was
Squirted
like,
out of the head hole.
Yeah, I was like, that's awesome. I'm glad they did that. I like it.
Yeah. That's great that you guys are laughing because you know that he really did that to people.
Yeah, he totally did.
So, oh yeah. Speaking of,
Y'all, shame on y'all.
well, so on after that, I went on the freaking AI to type in like create a movie script about like
Because he
some
just
serial
can't.
killers and shit like
Because he
that.
just can't fucking help himself with his AI shit.
But hold on. So I put that in, and I can't remember what serial killers I used for that. It basically spit back. Unfortunately, I can't do that because it would be distasteful because of the victims. Blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, I understand. So it's trying to be like all sincere about the victims on that.
That's
one.
why you just changed the name of the killers, man. Like
True.
I read this book, Friday the 13th, Hell Lake. They released some novels of Friday the 13th in the early 2000s or whatever.
Really?
Yeah, there was Church of the Divine Psychopath and Hell Lake. So they're both great.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh.
In the worst way.
Okay.
In Hell Lake, Jason dies and goes to hell. Mm-hmm. And when in hell, he meets a guy who's Richard Ramirez, but he's not like really Richard Ramirez. His name's changed.
Okay, gotcha.
So
he's like the Night Stalker. He's
yeah,
just not that
the
moniker.
exact same story.
Gotcha.
He got beat down, but I don't think he went to prison. I think that the people that found him actually killed him in the street. Or that's how he died in the book. Either way, so in the hell in that movie or book is like Dante's Inferno. There's different rings of hell,
Right.
and they're like in the bottom. And somehow Richard Ramirez is able to befriend Jason and use him like a
puppet.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they fight their way up through the circles of hell, and a certain group of like different serial killers and other people
Show up.
come behind them, and then they get loose on the earth.
Oh my god.
And so it winds up in a prison in Jason, and everybody's in there doing this riot, and there's a scenario where Jason has to put on a welder's mask and pick up a semi-automatic rifle and start capping prisoners in this story. It's bonkers, dude.
God. That's wild.
So it just speaking of dead serial killers returning, that I guess that book's another scenario.
Yeah.
At the beginning of that book, there was some camp or people at Camp Crystal Lake just hanging out having a picnic or something, and it goes out of its way to say that they were listening to the Insane Clown Posse's Carnival of Carnage album. It was really strange. They were like out there being juggalos or something.
Nice. And they're having a picnic. That's nice.
Yeah, and I think they get killed. And then in the Church of the Divine Psychopath, there's a character named Seaver in it. He's a SWAT team cop.
Hey.
He bangs a chick in the back of the SWAT team van, and he gets out, and he's in the woods, and he hears a creak, and he turns around real quick and look, but it was just a raccoon. And so he turns back around, and then there's Jason standing there, and he cuts his head, pull him in half.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I already gave my review. What do you want looking at me about? Why?
no, I wasn't gonna. Shit.
I did kind of go off on a tangent.
No, it's fine.
I was just gonna bring up The Last of Us.
Oh yeah. Can we first, before we start with the third episode? Go ahead.
I want
Go
to
ahead,
hear
Seaver.
I want to hear what Seaver says about the second episode.
Oh, it was fine.
Your honest opinion.
I mean, yeah, it was fine. Everybody did a good job
So
in
you're-
acting. It was done well.
So you're gonna watch the third episode?
No.
Why not?
Don't care about that kind of show. I'm over it.
Okay.
After The Walking Dead and stuff, just post-apocalyptic bullshit. People running around from zombies and monsters and just, we gotta find food. Carol's dead, I don't give a fuck. I'm over all of that.
All right. So
that's fair. That's because they're everywhere. It's.
I mean that
it's been that way for
it can
last.
be very well done, and it was. I just don't.
you just don't like the story wise. Yeah.
I just don't care about that.
Yeah.
World. It's really neat with the whole cordyceps and stuff. The whole idea. Love it. Love it. Love all of it.
If it just hadn't been the genre hadn't been watered down for the last decade and a half.
Yeah, it's just too much.
I get that.
Well, The Walking Dead overkilled it anyway, especially with the spin-offs.
I feel
and that's been going on for 15 years now. Now they got 4 more spin-offs of that.
Yeah, they got. Oh man, how many fucking spin-offs do they got? More coming out too.
Yeah, and it's
I feel the same way with Star Wars and like superhero movies. There's just so fucking much, and it's just like I can't.
It's neat that the monsters in that have different. They're different, but they're still zombies. You know, some of them shoot acid out of their assholes or something. You know, but it's still the same thing. Call them what you want. Put it in a different setting. You know, make it all take place in 2003. You know, whenever.
Well,
you know.
So
I don't care if it goes back and forth. I just don't give a shit. They're gonna take Ellie there, whatever. Who cares?
I love it.
All right, so you're not going to watch any more of it?
No, talk about it as you wish.
So, Ben.
Yeah.
How did you feel about episode 3?
I loved it.
It was definitely different than the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, you see literally maybe 1-2 zombies.
Did you even see any? I don't even.
Yeah, I remember because so Ron Swanson's in it, and he's sort of a survivalist. And he emerges from his basement and realizes that his entire little cul-de-sac is now gone.
Yes.
So he basically just goes around and gets like a generator and all sorts of things. And he is powering this and sets up a big fence around his little cul-de-sac. So he's got basically his own little city.
Yes.
He also sets up a bunch of traps. And while he's sitting there eating a meal, he's got cameras set up. And a couple zombies walk into the traps. But also, Frank walks into a trap, which just drops him into the ground. So he goes to check Frank out. He realizes Frank's not he hasn't been turned or anything. He hasn't been bitten. So he invites him in. He's just trying to, help him get something to eat and a shower so he can go on his way. And it ends up that they are both homosexuals. And they fall in love. And it goes through the story of their life, how they meet Joel and all that good stuff. And, yeah.
It was honestly a very sad episode.
Oh, horribly sad at the end. Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
It was definitely targeted to make you feel more for the characters and all that. And
Yeah.
they fleshed it out a lot more than the game did,
Yes,
actually.
because in the game, Frank's not around. He's already dead.
Correct.
And Bill's still alive.
Yes.
And they took a lot of liberty with this one because Frank's dead and then Bill dies as well.
Yes.
Oh, wait. May I sidebar?
Yes.
I give Dahmer versus Gacy 3.5 stars. Maybe. No, I'd give it 4. In my honest opinion of what I enjoy about movies and how much I like them in this style of movie, I would rate this very high.
Yeah, you didn't even give him an option to review it. You piece of shit.
Speaking of The Last of Us, let me be The Last of Us to give my review of the movie.
Yes.
Star review. I would probably give it a solid 4.
I figured you were reading your review earlier.
No, I would have went. I could see where everybody would get a 2.5 or maybe even a much lower. But I think for what this movie set out to do and what it did for me, and the state of mind I was in when I watched it originally in 2010, just blistered high with a buddy and had the best time. Watched it again the other night. So it was stilted in parts. I get that, how people could feel that way, but I still had a fantastic time watching it and wish that they got to make a sequel. I would have liked to have seen more of the Charles Manson, the end.
Yes,
all of that.
I agree.
It's a shame this guy's projects never got to stay on this path.
So, question on that. You said that the first time you watched it high as a kite, right?
Yeah.
So, was that when you just Did you just watch it for the second time, actually?
No, I've seen this movie probably.
I was just making sure that...
like, whenever we watched it when we were blistered, we probably watched it, several times that weekend when we rented it.
Yeah.
And I've went back numerous times.
Okay, so after that you did watch it sober on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, like, if you just had, like, different memories on it than actually what you watched after the fact.
It is definitely different watching it alone than it is watching it with a buddy.
Yeah.
But I'd give it 4 stars.
Okay.
It's my kind of movie, man. It's
I can see
weird.
that.
It's weird, it's out there, and it's really done well.
Yeah, and I know that you like the type of movie.
The absurdity is intentional.
Yeah. Oh, it totally is. I mean...
and the budget, I don't know how differently it would have been done had they had a different budget. I think it's set out to make exactly what it is, and I think it's a beautiful movie. In the worst way. The absolute worst way. Terrible subject matter, terrible everything.
Oh, yeah.
Godspeed to families or whatever, That fucking Donkey Kong machine will fall out of their ass with $1.25 or something and get the high score. So, 4 stars. 4 stars.
All right. I mean, that's fair. I know for your taste, it's definitely, I can see that.
And Nick Offerman's probably sad about that.
But to go back on The Last of Us real quick, I did not think that they would go actually that route, that they would try to make it like just an episode to make you feel about the characters that way. I figured they would try to move on with the story of the game itself instead of like basically just putting more story to the...
Oh, having Bill die too is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So you're liking the surprises the show's taken from the game? You like the changes?
Yes. Yeah. Like a lot of people will, like a lot of times when you base something on a game, people will either hate it or love it.
Yeah.
Depending on like the ones that will hate it are normally if you put it shot for shot, you don't need to watch it because if you already played it, then you already seen it.
Hell yeah, Rico just came in.
Yeehaw!
I love how somehow he lost his clothes. Yeah,
he lost everything, and he came in there with this crazy ass cross. Now, that fucker was in The Last of Us. I'd fucking watch it.
You never know. He might
could have played Bill.
Yeah, he could have.
So it is interesting to me, though, because I don't know. I never played the game either, but I do like to hear... somebody's always bitching from some fan zone from somewhere about stories. And I wonder if the characters that are changing in the show are minor characters or people... If they're minor characters, it won't matter. And if they can become a major character later, that will give their room to kill them off and really have it make no difference to the TV show and the end result. So that's fine. You can use them for filler.
A lot of times, like, with them changing it up like that, since he was more of just a side character and wasn't really that deep into the game or anything like that.
No, it works fine that he died when he died.
But it is interesting to me that, like I said, that they just made a whole story around
Ron Swanson died in the episode, too?
Yeah. He debuted and died in the same episode.
They couldn't keep him around for that. They didn't have the budget for it. They had to spend all their money on fake fucking grass that they put in everything.
Also, I do have to say, I do want to play the game again because of this.
Oh, yeah, you should. I beat it, so I mean...
Yeah. I never finished it.
It's been literally a decade ago, but yeah.
Well, see, now you can play the new one.
Now I'm watching the show. There you go. If you want, I'll sit with the controller in my hand while I watch the show.
You should totally do that.
Well,
look at those graphics.
Well, after you watch the show and he's talking and you tell him about what happens in the game, like, and you're like, oh, it was done better in the show. I like how they did this in the show. And then he's going to play the game and be like, well, this isn't as good as the show. And I'm kind of bored just sitting here behind this rock waiting for this thing to stop clicking.
Yeah, you will probably hate it now once you've watched it.
Yeah.
Unless you play through the game really fast, like more than the weekly episodes you're dropping, then you know.
Yes.
Then you get to the second game and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, you should be able to change what you want about the story.
Oh,
right?
definitely. Like, I hate when people basically just hate on it that, they're changing stuff. I don't like that they changed this and bullshit.
Well, look, they were mad before it even came out when they showed the character, the actress playing Ellie. They shit all over that girl because of how she looked. And
in
was
those
like,
2 episodes, I thought she did a great job.
Yeah.
I thought she was a good actress for doing what she was doing.
Yeah. But I'm excited to actually watch the next episode. I wonder if they just continue now with the story a little bit, and then I imagine that they're probably going to continue the story, and then like 2 episodes later, going to try to take another side character and try to flesh out the story too.
Yeah, I mean, in the game, you're just those two running around, and you just encounter different people on the road. I guess there's really not much else. And you're in the Walking Dead world, so yeah, you're just going to float around and run into people. Sooner or later, they're going to run into Negan's camp, and somebody's going to have a bat, and the same old fucking circle jerk.
which I'm assuming because they kind of showed, they always show a clip of the next week's episode, and it almost, you said they run into a camp. That's essentially what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way all of that shit is. It's just the same stupid fucking bullshit. I'm tired of it. But I say that with as soft a heart as I can because I think it's well done. It's just you guys can keep talking about it. I'm not.
Well, there's not much else to talk about in that episode other than the fact that, like I said, you see maybe 1-2 zombies the rest of the time.
That's
whole
what sucked about the fucking Walking Dead too.
Yeah, the whole other time it's developing these two and then watching them die.
Yeah.
Like, it's just going through years of their life.
Yeah, people are like, oh, it's character development. I was like, I don't give a fuck that Ellie loves Subway sandwiches. I mean, and the first couple episodes, that's cool. You know, you gotta have shit.
So the
I watch too much YouTube, man. My attention span's not long enough to sit here and
I get
give
that.
a shit.
I get that.
What the Mandalorian's telling the Witcher.
There's a lot of shows that I lose interest on after a while because it just drags out. I can totally see that. The Walking Dead is one of the shows actually that I dropped after a while.
Yeah.
And I tried to watch Fear
I
the
dropped
Walking
that
Dead.
whenever the Negan stuff happened, and the Negan stuff.
As a matter of fact,
the
that's
Negan
exactly
stuff
what I
is
was
whenever it was going to get good.
Yeah.
But my wife was just like, if they ever kill Glenn off, I'm not watching that show anymore. And I went out of my way to be like, oh, I'm downloading this episode. I put it on, and then we've not watched it anymore.
All right.
I checked out of The Walking Dead and after season 1. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I didn't care anymore after season 1.
I tried to watch Fear the Walking Dead. I watched a little bit, and then it just also like derailed drastically on that. And I was like, But the spin-off that they're coming out with is like just the characters like splitting off after The Walking Dead, and like, oh, here we're gonna have
Ralph and Carol, and then
like Maggie,
Rick and Megan.
Well, they're gonna have what is it, Maggie and Negan? I think they're gonna be like together on a spin-off.
Really? Are they like together?
I don't know if they're together.
That's
together
hilarious.
Or what
that's
the
the
fuck
dude
it is.
that clubbed.
Yes, exactly.
Dave Chappelle did. Yeah. That's right.
Oh shit!
I'm surprised. Are they doing a spin-off of that one dude that everybody's in love with from that show? With the fucking
him and Carol's got a show.
Crossbow.
Yeah, him and Carol's got a show coming out.
Dude from Boondock Saints.
Yeah.
Was that good?
Yeah, I met that guy. He sucked.
He
He was a guy.
I love the Boondock Saints.
I guess he was partying too hard the night before, and he was wearing sunglasses.
Just fuck medieval.
And we're like paying, like, we waited hours in line to meet this guy, and we get there, and he's wearing these sunglasses, and we pay him like $40 or whatever dollars to. I was like, you pop them sunglasses off for the pictures. He's like, nope. They take the picture, and then they're like, all right. I was like, what the fuck ever, man. Jesus Christ.
Look, that whole. I remember when everybody's like, oh, I love the fucking Boondock Saints. I love it. And I watched it, and I was like,
Did not care for it.
No. I was like, the best character is the fucking Green Goblin. That's the best character in this whole goddamn movie.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like,
everything else was just like cringy.
Not those two fuck sticks or that guy making a goddamn joke every
Defoe
5
was
minutes.
great.
The funny man or
I
whatever.
love the movie because of Willem Dafoe, actually.
Yeah. I thought he was good, but everything else I was just...
Yeah, that's... Oh, look, they recite this thing as they shoot it
And
in the back of the head. All right.
I'd never watched it until after The Walking Dead and after I'd met the guy, I think, too.
Oh, really? I watched it before that. So you came in with a preconceived this dude's a douche.
Yeah.
I didn't, and I still hated it. And then the second one came out, and I never watched it. So,
I watched the second one.
yeah. Well.
It also had William Dafoe in it, too.
What,
William?
William? Nope, it's William. No, you're right.
Whatever the fuck.
You're right, buddy. William Dafoe. He was in Death Note. Good job.
Oh, this band Easy Enough that apparently
that's
did
enough.
the entire soundtrack to this movie.
That's enough. Enough.
Yeah.
Enough's enough.
Enough's enough.
Yes.
I looked them up. They've made 16 albums.
Yes.
Like, they are a long-time band.
Yes. I love how they're like, fuck yeah, use all of it.
This is the Dahmer versus Gacy soundtrack, by the way, for talking.
And it fucking could have been Boondock Saints for all we care.
Yeah. But, oh, yeah. I guess I'll just be the last of us that doesn't watch that show.
I mean, I get it. The thing of it is, I understand, because I'm the same way with Star Wars. Like, I liked the original Star Wars, and then, the prequels.
The prequels suck.
Even when I was a kid, they disappointed me.
Yeah, I quit Star Wars, too. It's been great.
Yeah, but then here comes this overload of, oh, here's this show, here's this animated show, here's another show, and I'm just like, God damn, I can't keep up.
Yeah.
Right, fuck.
Never watched Game of Thrones?
No, never watched that either.
I actually like Game of
Man.
Thrones.
Fuck that thing. I gotta get a high five in. Where'd it go?
I personally like Game of Thrones. Just me.
Got it. I think I tried to watch one episode. May have been their first episode. And I was like...
I did watch the first episode.
I was like, look, I don't like medieval shit enough as it is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is not helping it.
Yeah, I might even watch the second episode.
I didn't even get that far.
And
I will say...
it
didn't grab me until a few episodes in.
I don't like medieval shit, though.
See,
I don't either. Dark Ages bullshit. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I want electricity. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Torch shit.
Alright.
Sometimes they can be good, like Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Oh, I love that movie, though.
Absurd shit. That's what I like. You see what I'm saying? You see the pattern here?
Yeah, I know exactly what
I'll never forget watching that for the first time with my dad, and I was probably maybe 11.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. So fucking funny.
See, I didn't get into it.
Monty Python?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's too absurd.
I guess so.
I don't know if it appeals to your senses the same way it does ours. If that, like, your sense of humor is just more like, okay, why is this funny?
It's a niche thing.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Absurdity, you're like,
I can't support this buffoonery.
Your logic.
It's just like the IT crowd.
You're like Spock trying to watch Monty Python.
Essentially,
you're more of a.
I give you that. It's true.
You're more of like a dry humor guy, and are you not?
Yeah.
Because you showed that IT crowd clip, and you've showed me that clip before.
Yeah.
It didn't really do much for me because it's real.
Yeah.
Dry.
Yeah. Which is fun.
But no, I like dry
I will
stuff.
tell
I
you.
do.
So
I like certain dry humor.
So I like dry humor, but I don't like all dry humor. Like when it comes to British humor, a lot of that is dry humor, and I'm not big on that.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that.
I like dark humor.
Oh,
Dog humor.
Dog.
Dog humor. Oh,
No.
Snoopy.
Yes.
Far out.
Yes.
Far out.
Shit.
get fucking wrecked.
God damn.
Okay, dark humor.
Yeah, dude, I'm with you. Was Dahmer versus Gacy dark humor, or was that absurd humor?
Absurd.
But it was about a very dark subject.
Yeah, it's a dark
Yes, but
subject.
it's,
So is that dark humor or absurd humor?
Are you more or less like dead baby joke dark humor?
Absurdly dark? Would that be absurdly dark? Does it make light of a bad subject? Does it glorify
Are
it?
you okay?
Well, when I dropped my vape while I was high-fiving Seaver, I think a cat hair got in there.
That's just a little Otis, boy. You be
Poor
all right.
Otis for you.
He's just down there having a breather on your vape.
It heightens the flavor.
So would you guys say Dahmer versus Gacy glorified the killers, or...
No, I don't think so. I don't think I glorified the killers.
Well, wait a minute. Now, hold on a second. I wouldn't think that, but with every little cut they go to that news reporter lady, everybody's glorifying the fuck out of them.
But that's how women are about serial killers.
That is true.
And all the true crime stuff. It's also a parody of that stuff.
I mean, there's true crime podcasts that I know several people that
this
listen
is
to
2010.
religiously.
This is 2010.
That's before all that came about.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And, I mean, people marry serial killers and have conjugal visits and
Yeah,
fuck
man.
them and have kids with them. So, yeah.
So I think this was, it didn't glorify them at all. It definitely made them look like fools.
Yes.
And made anybody who was all about them look
Worship
like
them
fools.
like that.
Yeah.
I don't worship them. I just find it interesting that somebody could go to that level, I guess.
What?
Like, to literally not only kill one person, but then have, like, a need and an obsession to kill more than...
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. I
find that
it's probably
mind-blowing.
like doing what crack would be for people, you know.
Yeah, it's like their drug. Like, they have to have more. They've got... That's crazy.
Whatever. I don't know. But I think it'd be cool to make movies like that.
Yeah. I want to... Damn it, we have to get in touch with Ford Austin.
No, I'd be down for that.
Somebody has to greenlight this motherfucker in space. I have to see it.
Yeah.
Especially 13 years after this
Yeah.
one came out. Fuck me.
I'll go on there and I'll pretend to be Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Why not?
I'll be like, hell said I could be an astronaut in your movie.
Exactly.
Stone Cold won't do it, I will.
And he would love it. He could probably get Steve Austin to do it. Shit, all he's doing is his podcast and that fucking thing on the network where he interviews the people who like his podcast. So fuck it. I enjoy that, by the way. I'm not shitting on it.
Everything Stone Cold does is great.
Oh, fucking, he could shit in my front yard and I would watch it.
I'll be cone sold.
Can't get in that copyright of the WWE right
Cone sold Ford Austin. Yes. Yes, buddy. Let's make it happen.
But yes, we have to get in touch with him somehow. We need to send him an email. Have him on the fucking show.
Yeah. Maybe he would talk to us.
Well, I mean, you know, ironically, we should try to reach out.
I don't know, man. He's actually a guy that does a lot of projects.
No, I'm
Probably
sure he
wasn't
probably would
that
never
good.
answer, but you know,
Yeah.
we could
It's worth a shot.
It's worth a shot, yeah.
Yeah, he's still working all the time and stuff, buddy.
Sometimes he'd be surprised.
Man, but with this being a project he wrote and direct, he may enjoy talking to someone about it.
Yeah,
He's probably
exactly. That's the reason why I said you'd be surprised sometimes. Actually,
Yeah.
like,
Well, I hate to segue from that again,
I love this movie.
but can we talk about what we watched before we started this podcast, which was The Rehearsal?
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Look at these two, forgot all about it.
I don't know. Maybe we should have rehearsed talking about that one.
Maybe.
Like-
Maybe we should rehearse this goddamn podcast.
Maybe this whole podcast has been a rehearsal for the real podcast.
It's a rehearsal.
About the rehearsal.
Look at that, boys.
We've just been getting our formatting done.
I've
I've been working backwards because I watched this show a while ago. I've been just leaking you guys into a rehearsal about the rehearsal.
So what actor played me?
What actor played him?
The thing is, I rehearsed it with myself, with everybody. I didn't have the budget Nathan Fielder did.
Damn.
I did it more of a Dahmer versus Gacy style.
There it is. This podcast is meta as shit.
Yeah, I just kind of played more roles,
And
and I lost myself in the work.
And if I could suggest a cast, like an actor for you, not even an actor, I suggest the lead singer of Coheed and Cambria. I think he could. Martin could pass for him.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, fuck yeah.
hell yeah.
Grow your beard out a little more. Fuck yeah.
He cut all his hair.
Oh shit, did he?
Yeah,
I
he
didn't
cut
know
all his
that.
hair.
I was thinking like Bam Margera.
Ooh.
Yeah, Martin strikes me as a Bam Margera.
What will he do?
Damn.
What will he do next? Whatever the fuck.
Maybe not
I
now.
don't-
Maybe not now, Bam Margera.
No, now Bam Margera looks like Phil Margera.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Or no, he's even got the Vito look to him because that eye's starting to go the other way.
Yeah, before he got that far.
Oh, shit.
Not to hate on him, I like the Jackass shit. And CKY. Speaking of CKY, back to Dahmer versus Gacy. Goddamn, the dude who played Charles Manson's the lead singer of CKY. Fuck
No
yeah.
shit.
No way.
There you go. It all ties in. Yes.
Yeah, buddy.
Yep. Or former singer of CKY, the guy who was originally with him. Yep, that's him.
Damn.
So maybe the Coheed guy could play Mark
And
Dahmer.
let's connect it even more. The chick from Sleepaway Camp and that dude are married. Fuck.
Oh shit!
That's research. I'm gistling this motherfucker. I don't need a legal pad, motherfucker.
Yeah,
This is all off the dome.
yeah, dude. See what Dahmer versus Gacy did for you?
It did so much for me.
How about you bump that 2.5 up, motherfucker?
No, it's going to a 3 or 3.5, mainly because there is no movie that we have sat and reviewed that I've looked up so much shit on.
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
it was so bizarre you had to know.
I had to know all of these people, what walk of life they came from.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So there you go.
I like how it derailed into Jackass and then it swung back to
Well, he
CKY
said-
and then back to this.
He said Bam Margera, and then I said Phil and I said Vito, and I was like, wait, he's got a brother, Jess, the drummer for CKY. CKY, that dude's in fucking Dahmer versus
Because
Gacy.
at the very end of Dahmer versus Gacy, it says, another killer's broke out, the worst one, and it's just Charlie Manson hacking a guy to death, and that's the end of the movie.
Yes, that's the final.
Which was apparently the lead singer of CKY. That's
There you go.
fantastic.
God, dude. Can't believe I had to go all the way around to get to that point. I forgot that.
You were rehearsed it, right?
I'm sorry,
You did a
Martin.
rehearsal for that?
No, fuck rehearsing. I
I'm
knew
sorry. I'm sorry, Martin. The producer's telling us we have to take a break right now.
You have to take a break?
Yeah.
All right,
We'll be right back after this.
let's take a break.
All right. And we are back. And we were just talking about the rehearsal. So, the first episode of that show started, and it was, what would you guys say you thought about how it started out? What did you think was going to end up going on with this show?
I mean, personally, I didn't know what the hell we were going to watch on that one.
Yeah. Whenever it started out, Nathan's meeting Kårstad. They're shaking hands, being friends. You guys were chuckling. I noticed. You guys thought it was going well, very personable.
Yeah.
Most definitely. I would say that I didn't know what the fuck to expect from the show.
Yeah.
Like-
And at the point where Nathan said he had rehearsed that moment of them meeting over and over, you started to get a sense of what you were in for.
It's threw me completely off. The reason why I say that is because I did not pay attention to the Craigslist ad on that one in the beginning. So I did not know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
I was like, is this like everything staged? Are they staging about being staged? I
It's
was
kind
so
of meta,
confused.
dude.
Yeah.
It's kind of meta
it was
because
like,
what is staged? Like, all reality TV's fake.
oh, exactly.
This guy contacted him wanting to be on TV.
Yeah.
He knew he was going to be on TV.
But that's all he knew. He didn't know the lengths that this was going.
Yeah.
And no one did. I didn't. No,
Yeah,
it just,
this guy, apparently, he is the kind of guy that shops around to be on, like, trivia shows and stuff. He's been on Cash Cab before.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did say that, didn't he?
And so he's a real person, but Nathan has heavily rehearsed and does all of this stuff. So, what is real?
On the show, I wasn't sure what the fuck anymore at the beginning. Like I
Yeah.
said.
Well, like, as it goes along, it just keeps opening new layers that you didn't think about. And he was like,
Yeah.
oh, well, guess what? I rehearsed this too. And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he really tells him a personal moment that
Yeah.
he was married for 3 years and that he got divorced. That's real Nathan stuff. And then that guy swims by. And
Yeah,
then-
this old man just gets
it
in.
was so
set up
casual.
too.
But it was so casual.
Yeah.
And then the revelation.
But it was all used to make him more comfortable with him,
Yeah,
too.
all manipulation.
Crazy.
Manipulation. Willy Wonka.
I loved him just going down the street and like him already having the questions that they're going to ask at this trivia night.
Yeah.
And he has set up all of these things
Yeah.
to happen to answer the questions
Yeah.
at the trivia night. Blew my fucking mind. Like
Just to make it casual.
like they stopped at a cop with a barricade, like that cop is going to give you any information at all. He tells him exactly everything that happened.
Yeah.
And
Homicide.
then he's just like, oh yeah.
Days like this, I curse the Chinese for inventing gunpowder.
Like, why? And then later on, there it is.
Kårstad's just like, oh, so terrible. Sorry to hear about that.
Prayers for the family.
Prayers for the family. Kårstad's such a character. Such a character.
They went out of the length of like rebuilding the whole scenario, like actually, like first at the beginning where they redone the apartment from the dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, they literally, so essentially they, like a week or so before, they called in a fake gas leak, and this company, and I'm using air quotations, comes and checks the gas leak out. All it is Nathan's like team of people that come in and literally like map his whole apartment out with their equipment, and they rebuild it on this like sound stage.
Meticulously detailed.
And then,
aside from the chairs.
And then Nathan rehearses his entire meeting and conversation with
Door City over here.
With Cord, with an actor portraying Cord, and all the different scenarios, and oh god, it was just, whew.
The meticulous planning, and then
they did a flow chart for the shit.
Yeah,
yes.
Of every interaction.
Yes, of what could happen and what would the outcome be.
Yeah, and then Kårstad's secret all hinged on
how many takes do you think they actually did for the whole thing? Like, do you think they did like from what is shown? I say at least 30 takes for each fucking scenario.
I believe they did every take Nathan said they did. I believe that everything you see is what you get on that show.
That's too much.
And that's the point.
That's the whole point.
The budget of that just goes
He's a
way
maniac.
beyond.
You've not even begun to see where this goes.
No,
he built
that's
that whole
just,
alligator lounge, dude.
If that's just episode 1, I could only imagine where it would go from here in a different scenario.
Like, oh my god, the budget on just rebuilding the fucking bar that they did.
Yeah, because it all hinged on a trivia night.
Oh, HBO is throwing all the money at this show, because my god.
And that was just one episode.
Yes, that's just episode 1. So imagine.
6 or 8, I believe.
Oh my god, and they're making a season 2, you said?
Yeah.
So holy
it's
shit.
greenlit for a season 2.
I mean, I like the concept of it. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
And that should like fit right within your wheelhouse. That's dry as fuck.
It's like his old show was Nathan for You, and this is actually Nathan for You. Like the other one was for Nathan for Businesses, you know?
Yes. Now it's for people.
Yes.
Now, for some reason, he did remind me of the guy from Everybody Loves Raymond.
I don't
You
know
mean
who that
Ray
is.
Romano?
Yeah.
No, Nathan's funny.
So,
he
yeah.
reminded me of him for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
For some such reason.
Cheap Chick in the City?
Oh my god, Cheap Chick in the City.
Cheap Chick in the City.
Cheap Chick in the City.
That's a blog, right?
Cheap Chick in the City.
That's another thing that was made Cord a little weird to me, as he just kept repeating it back to him.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, that's what it is.
So Nathan just rolled with it and saw how long he could get away with it, man.
Why not? Fucking why not?
What did the guy do before? Like, does he have any...
He's a comedian.
Just a regular comedian. Does he have any movies or anything like that?
Nathan? He's been in a bunch of stuff. He's had TV shows. He was in Canada doing news shows like The Daily Show type deal.
Okay.
He was an outside correspondent on a show like that.
I just don't recognize him from anything, personally.
Yeah, that's what's great about him. He's very famous, but still very low key.
Yeah.
Like that one dude had no idea. He had no idea who he was, and he watches TV. They even brought that point up. And that guy's like, oh, I watched. It's basically TV trivia, and he brings up the point that he was on a show. He had his own
for
TV
5
show,
seasons,
and the dude had no clue who the fuck he was. Yeah. He was like, oh,
yeah, that was such a burn.
Oh, it's literally so awkward. It's fantastic.
Yes.
The amount of secondhand embarrassment I had through that entire episode, it actually drove my anxiety up, because I felt so horrible, and I was like, oh, if I was ever in a situation like that. So I'm probably going to go home and watch after the new episode of The Last of Us. that
These
Seaver
recumbent bikes are everywhere.
That Seaver will be enjoying. That's how they get around in The Last of Us is recumbent bikes. You learned that in episode 4 because it shifts the weight.
It doesn't disturb the cordyceps tentacles.
After I watch the new episode, I'll be watching fucking The Rehearsal for sure because that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's definitely worth watching.
Oh, you guys are going to watch it on your own as well?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Even if we don't review it ever again, I'll continue watching.
Well, brother, you are in for the ride of your life.
I can't
Did it just
wait.
come out this year or no? Not this year, but
It
last
just
year.
ended a few months ago.
Okay.
See, I like being a little behind. I want to be able to sit and just
Yeah.
continuously watch episodes instead of doing what I'm doing now with The Last of Us, which is waiting a fucking week. And that just shows you how spoiled we are now, that everything drops in a big chunk.
Oh,
Now
yeah,
I can't
Netflix and all
stand. Now I
that.
can't stand of being a kid again and waiting another week for the new episode of something.
Waking up
Yeah.
on Saturday morning watching cartoons.
Well, they didn't drop those like that, Martin, but that's okay. Cartoons didn't work that way.
That's true.
Didn't work what way?
The dropping on a Saturday morning. Sometimes they would.
No, they did. What the fuck are you talking about? Every Saturday
SpongeBob
morning.
never
new
did
cartoon.
Saturday like that.
How old are you?
Fucking 31.
Oh, okay.
Gisela had this same weird situation where he thought I was older.
Well, no, I just... There was a big, long window where Saturday mornings were the cartoons.
That is
Yes.
true, yeah. No.
So there was a big, long window. But, like, that 6 or 7 years there, it did kind of dwindle down.
Now, I remember watching, like,
down.
X-Men
But-
and, like, Spider-Man on
but
Fox Kids. Fuck
yeah.
yeah, that was every Saturday like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that was, like, near the end of it.
I would, yeah, that's
Was Fox
about where
Kids.
I can
Yeah,
remember.
So before that, Saturday mornings.
That was
the
the
stuff.
hot spot?
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense then. But
Yeah.
then you agreed with me, so now you look like a fool.
What?
You
Yeah.
said, oh yeah, cartoons didn't do that.
Well,
'Cause
no,
I mean- 'cause
I
I'm
mean, like
considered-
a story continuation.
Because I mean,
cartoon.
when I stopped watching Saturday morning cartoons, it's kind of different. Because I stopped watching them, and then I just kind of forget they're not on anymore.
I see
So
that.
whenever you like, I stopped watching them about the time you were maybe
Beginning.
getting more into watching them.
Gotcha.
So while I was thinking they were still there, I didn't realize they weren't when you were coming of that age.
That's me, bud. Yeah.
So that's my logic there. So
This
yeah.
age gap is
That's
fantastic.
not-
I
it's
love
not
it.
a
It's
big
not
age
even that
gap.
big of an age gap. It's just that the time frame made so much difference.
Well, yeah, because you
Yeah,
got.
things shifted so
Oh
hard.
yeah,
in
you
that
guys,
era.
drastically in
you
that
guys were
years.
Yeah.
a little older than me when the shift started really
Yeah.
quick. So I kind of like
Yeah.
came in as the shift had already happened.
Yeah, yeah.
It's crazy to think about
Yeah,
that.
just that few year gap, dude. Things are so drastically
But I
different.
still do remember a time of, not having a computer or fucking internet or anything. Now, when I did receive a computer and the internet, that was a fucking Wild West then, boy.
Yeah. Web TV, bro.
God.
Um,
Sweet dial-up connection I had.
Oh,
yeah.
God. I had a dedicated dial-up connection. It was on 24/7.
so
Lucky you, dude. I had to take it out of the fucking telephone and plug it into the fucking computer.
the rehearsal from the next episode on is a completely different beast.
All
I
right.
would assume it wouldn't be linear. It couldn't be linear to this, could it? God damn it! I'm gonna fucking get mind blown. I'm getting mind fucked. He's fucking me before I've even watched it.
Yeah, dude.
Damn it!
Yes.
I
By
like
the
it,
end of the
though.
show, I wasn't sure that the finale wasn't going to be Nathan Fielder in my bed watching the show, my reaction to the show. Like, it's wild.
I wonder just how long it took him to think of this concept
That's why I don't know where season 2 could go.
and just
What else he's been baking.
plot all of this out. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
Just from the first episode, that was incredible that he
Yeah.
took time to plot all of that out
Yeah.
and had the resources to do it.
Yeah. What if I told you that I actually rehearsed all this before?
I'm telling you what,
I would not believe you.
I wouldn't, because there's nothing that could beat this. The final product would be so watered down, it's not even funny.
That's true.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to fuck you. Oh, yeah.
So
I'm
you,
going to fuck you so hard in your ass. Oh, fuck yeah.
so were you doing like if Macho Man had been born in Wisconsin?
Yeah. Macho Dahmer.
There it is.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Um,
Oh, his brother just died a couple days ago.
Oh, yeah.
The genius,
Yeah.
Lanny Poffo.
Yeah.
Leaping Lanny Poffo.
A real genius would have told his brother to take better care of his heart.
Ooh.
I'm just saying.
Lay off the coke, bud.
Oh, shit.
You cannot tell me that man wasn't just
Hey, the
on
genius,
a rocket.
the genius did outlive the brain, though.
He did.
And also the Macho Man.
Just think about that. I just want you to watch some promos from the Macho Man and just tell me that man wasn't just coked to the gills.
Measles!
The fucking with the cream of the crop where he brings out little coffee creamers, and he just keeps.
Rises to the top.
He's wearing a short sleeve shirt, but he just keeps producing these coffee creamers from literally nowhere.
He's got them in his fanny pack.
Dude, it's fantastic.
You know he's wearing a fanny pack, and he just keeps pulling them out off screen.
Also, if you can watch all the promos leading up to WrestleMania 5 between him and Hulk Hogan, oh, it's the best. They're the best promos ever. He's sweating so much he can't even fucking keep his eyes open. It's amazing. And that's all that's going to be left on the mat after WrestleMania 5. I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
I'm coming for you.
No
Hulkster.
wonder people were so like in tuned with wrestling then, because good God, if you didn't,
Yeah, he can cut a promo.
he made you think he was absolutely goddamn insane.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
And that clip going around him on a talk show talking about, oh, the Macho Man can shed a tear.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta be in touch with yourself.
The Arsenio Hall show, yeah.
He was part of the WWF also, right?
Yeah.
and the NWO.
I thought that I remembered him in that.
Yeah, he was in WCW later in his career, and then he was part
And
of
then
the
he was in the
NWO.
NWO.
Okay.
But also, what's funny, we bring up Arsenio Hall. Do you know one of his guests was Jason one time?
Yeah, that was really good.
It was literally an interview with
Kane Hodder.
Hodder as Jason Voorhees.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
While they were
In
filming
character.
Jason Takes Manhattan. So,
In character.
yeah.
It's also, that's something you need to watch as well. You've
He
got
didn't
some
say
homework. You've got some homework to do, bud.
There was also a good Arsenio when he had Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali on the same episode, sitting by each other talking.
I'm sure that's probably during Mike Tyson's heyday where he thought he could probably...
Yeah, Muhammad Ali was all shook up, you know.
Oh, yeah, he was...
It was already by that
Parkinson's
point. But
and
it's
all.
still interesting to see those two having an interaction together.
Huh.
Yeah.
On a side note, I know the Evil Dead game we're going to be playing, right?
Well, the bitch is free. You're damn right I'm downloading
Do
it.
you still have a PlayStation?
I got a PlayStation 4.
That's fine.
Yeah, you can still play it on there.
Do you have PlayStation Plus?
No, I haven't in a couple of years. I've only turned my PlayStation on a few times. Since I moved into my new house, and the last few times I've turned it on, it clicks for like a long time, and then whenever it gets done clicking, it'll take a disc. But sometimes all the digital games I think works fine.
Well, PlayStation Plus is going to have Evil Dead, the game, free.
Yeah.
So we're going to try that out, actually. I don't know if you want to join in on that if you do that.
I didn't download it earlier because I, for some reason, foresaw that it would eventually become free on
Yeah,
PlayStation Plus. So I was like, yeah, I'll just wait.
Yeah, I figured that too, but I mean, you like those kind of games, don't you?
I just don't play a lot of games anymore, man. I used to. Maybe my son will buy it, and I can see if I watch him play it.
I'm sure he has PlayStation Plus, so he can. Hell, he can just put his account on your PlayStation 4, and you can play him. You can if he puts his account on there, you can download the game and play it too.
No, that's fine, man. I don't need all that. I just don't play them anymore.
All right.
Got too much YouTube to watch, man.
Too much YouTube.
I might watch some YouTube videos about it. There we go, man.
Man, let's watch some gameplay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to record us playing, and he's going to watch us play.
Well,
I
look,
am excited about a game coming out in about a month. WWE 2K23 is coming out.
I've heard a lot of people talking about how like amazing that's going to be, and I'm like, is it really?
I mean, it's just another
Yeah, that's what
WWE
I'm
2K
saying.
game.
That's
And it looks like a lot of fun, though.
Oh yeah, to me they always are.
And they got that War Games match in there now.
Ooh,
They added that mode.
I love War
And the
Games.
career mode is you're fighting John Cena's career, but
Yeah.
you're fighting all the matches he lost. While he's telling the story, and you're fighting against John Cena and all his big matches.
Oh,
When
damn.
he's like God mode John Cena.
Right.
Like, you got to go up against that John Cena and fight through his story while he's telling it.
But I like the reversal of it. You're not. Yeah. I like that.
They've mixed it up. They're bringing the GM modes back. They're bringing back all the stuff people
Oh,
like.
good.
Yeah, it's going to be a cool game.
I do. They almost sold me on it just from War Games, because I as a kid, loved the War Games match, although they were always kind of shit.
Yeah, they're always wild.
Yeah, but you kind of like, I just like that concept.
Yeah, it's cool just to have a new game mode.
For sure.
So I'm pretty pumped about that, and I always like playing those games with my kid.
Martin can't relate. He doesn't.
No, I do not.
Games. But it's okay.
Well, dude, the wild fight scenarios. It's just like playing with two action figures, doing all the wild shit you ever wanted to do with your imagination, man. Me and him will sit and have hour-long backstage matches where we're just doing all the wildest shit possible, not caring who wins, just having a blast.
I mean, I get that. It's just not my cup of tea when it comes to games. So.
You'd rather sit behind a rock while something clicks.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd rather go smash somebody in the head with a sledgehammer and be like, "Ooh, yeah," and start flexing on them after.
You know what's
It's so much fun.
What's really terrifying is that, I don't know if I've brought this up before, I'm sure I have, that Seaver and I used to play Friday the 13th. And anybody familiar with Friday the 13th, the game,
Wrestling and Friday the 13th is pretty much the last games I played.
You essentially, it's a randomized pick of who gets to be Jason in your lobby and who the rest of the people.
Same way in Evil Dead.
Okay, and counselors.
Oh, that's the kind of game that Evil Dead game is?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's the reason why I said that maybe you would actually be into this.
Somebody comes in as Ash, somebody comes in as a Deadite.
Yep.
Well, I think you start all out as the normal people, like their normal selves, and then one person's a Deadite and starts turning everyone else into Deadites.
Oh, that sounds
I think.
neat.
I think that's the concept.
I'm not quite sure, but I'm definitely down to try it out.
But Seaver, anytime, when you and him are camp counselors, or even when I was Jason, or our mutual friend that would be Jason, we would talk to each other over game chat. No big deal.
He turns
as soon as Seaver becomes Jason, that mic goes off, and it elevates the shit out of terrifyingness. And you wouldn't think so because it's a game, but when you're literally talking to someone and then they don't speak for another 10 minutes, it's fucking terrifying.
I'm active and having fun playing the game and shit. Then I was like, oh, Jason, fuck y'all.
Yeah, that's essentially what it was.
So did you also play Dying Light?
I don't know what that is, so I'm going to say no.
Okay.
If I did play it, I don't know.
No, Dying Light, Dead by Daylight.
Is
that the game with the hooks? No.
Yeah.
No, fuck the game with the hooks. It only makes sense for Pinhead, but everybody else...
Yeah, I didn't like how they were adding, here's Ghostface and here's Michael Myers.
They added some really strange characters.
It's cool you can play as those guys, but...
Not if your sole mission is to hook people.
Yeah. I'm Michael Myers, and I'm building an altar to the devil. Ooh, yeah.
If Michael Myers spoke, that's how I would want it to be.
Come here, Laurie Strode.
Oh, shit. But no, we definitely need to try that out this week.
That's fine. Tuesday, right?
Comes out, it'd be free on Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah, we'll download the shit out of that.
Guarantee you that I can make a spot on Ash from the Evil Dead in the WWE game coming out. I can make some Deadites, and I can have clone them and make a War Games Deadite.
There you go.
Ash versus the Evil Dead War Games. Woo! Yeah!
Oh, shit.
Hell yeah, dude. I can throw Jason in there, man. I used to make the best monsters.
Well, there was Freddy versus Jason versus Ash, that comic book that came out. I think I've read one of them. It wasn't bad.
When I met Bruce Campbell, I was going to have him sign one of those comic books, but it had a big disclaimer on the thing that he's no longer allowed to sign them.
Really?
Yeah, because of licensing shit.
Oh,
like, he wouldn't care to sign them, but his people say no.
Aren't they continuing Ash vs. Evil Dead, actually, as a cartoon or something like that? I just want to see something like that.
I've seen something on it, too, where they're going to continue it, but it is going to be a cartoon. But I liked it the way it ended.
There's a new Evil Dead movie coming out, right?
Yeah, he's not going to be in it, though.
Yeah, I know.
His character
produced it and stuff.
Yeah. Which I think there's a trailer out for it now, but I've not seen it.
I watched about 10 seconds of it and turned it off because the trailer's too spoilery. I know it's an Evil Dead movie and I'll watch it.
Well, when you come into it and it's like a 3-minute long trailer, it's fuck, you're just going to show the goddamn highlights of everything I was wanting to see.
Yeah, I usually have a preconceived idea if I'm going to watch a movie or not.
Well, all right. Well, I would say we wrap it up tonight.
Dahmer versus Gacy was great on a different level than the rehearsal.
Yes. Different. Yeah. Definitely recommend watching it. Actually, like, yeah, give it a shot if you like that kind of movies.
And maybe folks would have enjoyed Dahmer versus Gacy more as a group, and that was actually the way I had planned us to watch it. So it was kind of like I'd watched it several times and rehearsed, hyping up the points where it would have been a lot of fun.
All right. Until next time.
I'm Steve Dave.
I don't have a clever name.
Goodbye.